name is Nishant. Currently, I'm pursuing class 12th, and my stance is that it is the government to blame for the water scarcity issues in India. The wars of the 21st century would be fought over water, one of the most wisest sayings said by Ismail Sarigadlin that fits well in the present scenario. India is a country that has faced water scarcity since the Harappan civilization back in 2500 BC. I know that my fellow debaters after hearing this would be ready with a set of government policy reports and statistics to prove that the government has done every step to stop water scarcity issues in India and it's not the government but the citizens who are to blame. Then I would like to request my fellow debaters to sit back and wait for the movie to start. This topic becomes one of the most heated topics of the year as the onset of the COVID-19 has introduced guidelines like washing your hands daily or as much as possible. Seems to be a hypothetical situation in India where people have pass throughs, they don't have a glass of water to drink, and the government expects them to wash their hands with a mug of water. Initiatives like Water Prevention and Control Act 1974, Environment Protection Act 1986, and how can you forget the Water Cress Act 1977, though were able to regulate the industrial waste, yet proved to be ineffective as the lack of sanitation facilities in India forced the people in rural India to excrete in the open, and about 80% of the sewage being drained directly into the Indian waters. This reminds me of the Citizen's fifth report that was published back in 1999 that clearly stated of how the industrial modernization and urbanization and population growth assaulted the Indian rivers. Talking about states like Maharashtra, the Maharashtrian government established a water resources regulatory authority back in 2005 that led the situation from bad to worse. Even after 14 years, as per the press release that was released on 30th of May 2019, Maharashtra's tanker demand increased by 283%. More than 10,506 hamlets and 4,920 villages in 6 revenue divisions were still devoid of water. It's been long I've been talking about states, districts, territories and institutions. How can we forget the main player of the game, the central government? Many rationalists here would be thinking that India has a large population and less water resources and that's the very basic reason for the water scarcity issues in India. Then I would like to tell you, I do agree that India has a large population but not the largest. As per the study that was released on the World Environment Day, India accounts for 1/4 of the total groundwater extracted globally. And it is more than China and US combined. And let me bring it to your consideration that India accounts for 16% of the world population and China accounts for 20% of the world population. Even after being the largest extractor of groundwater globally, still 163 million people in India have no access to groundwater or clean water resources close to their homes. Acts like the Easement Act of 1882 have been exploited by the private landowners and other private bodies, which has led to uncontrolled extractions of groundwater. The very basic difference is governance. China, being a communist country, looks forward to distribution of resources as its foremost duty, rather than India that allows private bodies to accumulate water resources to maintain its internal diplomacy. Then I think this is nothing but a pure example of a failing bureaucracy.